Mylar on the apples, and every time the media and everything comes out with, a little, a lot of it's false, little hints of truth, markets go down, consumptions go down.
There needs to somehow, I don't know how you do it, but there needs to be some accountability to the media folks that are putting out false information. It's kind of like this deal with Trayvon that's going on. I mean, this thing has already transpired. They should have let things kind of go through the system, but now, I mean, and you've got groups out there offering rewards for the murder of for people, and you got the president of the United States coming out and telling people, if I had a son, that was going to be him. I mean, you've got to let things kind of play out. I know that there's a person that died here, but we can't start convicting people, and you've got to get the facts in. And then some of the stuff the media has done with that, even. I mean,
the media sets public opinion.
Oh yeah.
Well,
people believe that the food versus fuel, and I mean, you name it, one thing after another.
I mean, it goes right back to the terrorism thing. I mean, they do everything but show you how to do it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This is how you get it through the here and there, and it's just crazy.
Yeah, well, that's a big problem. A lot of people have, if you look at the independent expenditures that are going to be happening this go around, and people don't have to, say, who gave what, so on and so forth. And there's going to be, tons of money put in to races across. The presidentials are going to just be crazy, along with congressional. We're going to be dealing with commercials one after another after another. But the one thing that I see as a problem is people in Washington want to pick winners and losers. Like, they want to have the unions only putting billions of dollars into races, but they don't want, companies, out there putting money into races. So, you can't pick winners and losers when it comes to independent expenditures. And you've got, a lot of people, I was talking to a person a couple weeks ago, and they said, if you have a government job, I mean, this is a guy who was like firm, and this is a Democrat. He says, I don't think that you should be able to give money to campaigns if you're a government employee. I'm like, well, because his argument was that what happens is they continue to vote for the same person that's going to keep giving them more pensions, raises, so on and so forth. So the media is a pretty good mess. What I do purposely is I watch pretty much all of them, MSNBC, Fox News, because I want to see where things are at. I want to see where my next attack's coming. I mean, and you can read it, and that's the thing, that messaging, I mean, I think what happens is these guys get their message out to these folks, and next thing you know, it's all over the place.
News outlet, though, how it gets started, how it swings.
How it gets
Well, during the primary, you didn't have to look at the polls. You just had to watch the news and see who they were picking on steps. Well, Snoop's up 5 points. Now, we didn't know it, but whether you're picking on him on the media or that Perry guy or
Santorum.
something.
I mean, prime example, asking about birth control.
Yep.
The birth control issue was set up by the media and the administration months ago, and then they brought it out this way. And so what they do is they go out and they shred the Constitution by attacking religious freedom, and then they try to shift it over and talk about, a war on women that they've created.
Right.
The thing that's really awesome, though, is a lot of the women are saying, hey, wait a minute. Where did this all come? And they're seeing where it's coming from. So, and that's where we've got to stay out in front and just talk about, this is more about, attacks on religious freedom than it is anything. It has nothing to do with I've had to talk to my wife till I was blue in the face, saying, this has nothing to do with birth control. It's about attacks on religious freedom.
Have you talked about your campaign? I mean, you're not running against, you don't have Phil Hare to kick around anymore, that cartoon character that you had last time.
No, we've got,
You may have talked about that.
yeah, you too. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming out. Yeah, for sure.
Good luck.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for coming out.
I'll buy you a drink.
All right. We've got a pretty good race on our hands. Good longtime friend of Senator Durbin is who's been chosen to run. Senator Durbin has come out and basically asked several folks to step out of the race. It's gonna, Yeah, it's gonna be a big plus for us. The people in Peoria are really upset, and we're already capitalizing on that. So we just had a nice story that hit Sunday talking about is the 17th
Good.
SD as
Pretty fair article.
yeah, and it's kind of nice. I mean, we've said all along that I like what they've given us. I mean, we did a study. It shows 112,000 Democrats stayed exactly the same. We gained 13,000 Republican and 20,000 non or independent. So, and by like my wife keeps saying, just keep talking about your accomplishments because we've got a ton of them. They're going to talk about millionaires, billionaires. It's all talking points with nothing in depth and more just beating things up rather than coming up with solutions. So we're actually pretty excited. We think that we can handily take this on. We work this call. Here's what. I'm not leaving a job where I was making $325,000 a year to run for Congress and make half of that amount. I'm not here for a wall plaque. I'm here because of my kids and my grandkids. And nobody had to come in and handpick me out. Like I said, starting out is that this isn't something I plan on doing. We've got somebody in there right now this has been part of the plan. I mean, people that I know that we have joint friends say this has been part of a scheme for quite some time. But I think the people will see the difference between, who's real and who's not, and who has an agenda. And here's the biggest thing that I think will resonate very well with the people is that Senator Durbin has picked this person to run. And look, we don't need a voice in the 17th, a mouthpiece of Senator Durbin. What we need somebody who's going to truly represent the people of the 17th. And not be afraid to go against the party. I mean, if Dick Durbin says, I want you to vote this way on this, it's a done deal.
Not much doubt.
Yeah. So, that I think will be key. And to be quite forward, I mean, the further away from Chicago you get, he's more of a ball and chain than he is. She's got Nancy Pelosi in helping out. It was funny because Dan Lipinski is a good friend of mine. He's in the Chicago area. And he came over and says, hey, how's your race going? I said, it's going great. I said, I need your help, though. He goes, well, what do you need from me? I said, I need you to get Barney Frank to give her $250 so I can get him on the list. So then I'll have Durbin, Pelosi, and Barney Frank. I said, it'll be a trio. He just shook his head and walked away. And then, of course, I said, hey, Dan, I said, never forget, the pizza guy always delivers.
Yeah, Krauthammer this morning, he made some national press with Charles Krauthammer's article, and then at the very end, that was some national coverage for you. So good for you.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. You get some plugs here and there, and it's gonna be a pretty good fight all the way through. And it's she's been raising quite a bit of money. She's supported by some pretty extreme folks. The Emily's List, which is early money is like yeast. It's an abortion group that most people think that Emily was somebody that died in a back alley abortion or something, but they're the extreme of the extreme. They're big into partial birth abortion. They don't think that the parent should have consent over their 14-year-old daughter going over and having an abortion. And if the opponent pulls back from them, the money dries up. No more cash comes to you. So we've got a really good position there because our district does lean pro-life. And even my pro-choice friends do not like